you see the screen share? The PowerPoint on the screen share? Okay. Welcome to our October meeting of Rose City Astronomers. I believe this is the 6th month, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, our 8th month of having an online general meeting like this. And we just do not know when the end is in sight. So what's new? And life goes on. So what's new is our membership is staying pretty stable. Our membership now is 607, and these are member families, if you remember. So our membership is actually the paid member plus whoever is in the household with them. Last year at this time, it was 605. So we're staying very stable with our membership. RCA is just basically operating as usual, and I guess I should have put quotation marks around here on this word on as usual under the circumstances. We're still having our board meetings, our general meetings, our telescope workshop, etc. We're just not meeting in person, but we are making some changes as a result of our downtime. And one of them is we rented a storage space to begin to consolidate our telescope library holdings. Our telescope library has been scattered around town and we wanted to kind of put it together. So we've begun that process. And we also, in support of Richard Berry, going through some hard times because of the wildfires, we made an extended loan of a telescope to Richard Berry until he can get his observatory back up and running again. Our calendar orders are open. I'm very pleased that our imagers continued to image over the last 8 months and created some phenomenal photography. And they also, some of them took time to process images that they had made the year before. So we've got a very a gorgeous calendar again this year. This is the cover, Comet Neowise by RCA member Pratamesh Pavashkar. I hope I said that right. And he's put a whole lot of really beautiful images on our forum. And when he put this up, I remember everybody said, well, I'm packing up my equipment and going home because this one is so beautiful. The link to order the calendar is right here, and it's also on our website. We are going to start mailing the calendars on November 4th, which is the day after the election. We thought we didn't want to get in the middle of all of the election mailing. And so you can order now, but it isn't going to be put into the mail until November 4th or later. We are going to send all of them by mail. So the price is going to be $14, which is the price of the calendar, plus $4 for mailing, shipping, and handling. Officer nominations are officially open. And Duncan, do you want to take a minute to do this officially?
Sure. So officer nominations for the elected officers have actually been open since last month, so they're actually about to close.
I should have put the names in there then.
Well, that will be announced after we actually officially close the nominations. But if you do want to nominate yourself for any of the elected positions, please, again, as we announced last month, send me an email at the address shown here.
Or if you want to nominate somebody else and not tell them, that might be good too.
They may not like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Our process is self-nomination.
Yeah. Now,
do not require somebody to nominate you. You can just go ahead and nominate yourself.
I thought it was self-deprecation.
It could be that too.
All right, I'm going to interrupt this. We do need an IT manager and a website manager. And Paul, do you want to take a minute to describe what that means?
Sure. Do you want to unshare your screen so I can?
Oh, you have a screen to share?
Well, I have my face to share. So
Well, we can see you. We can see you under gallery view or speaker view.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking for someone who's interested in working on the RCA website to build out our communications team. We have a couple of roles that are available. One is if you're on the more sort of IT backend web developer side, if you know GoDaddy, we could use some help there. But that sort of blends in with the web design duties. And if you're someone who enjoys collaboration with our fantastic board, who has Creative Cloud perhaps or social media experience, and especially if you've been listening to Alex Lindsay's office hours, contact me. I'm going to put just right now, I'm putting my email in the chat there. So there are a number of roles that would be available, but centering on web design, but sort of overlapping at one end on the development end, the IT development end, and on the other with the sort of social media and communications end. So let me know if you have any questions.
You can contact Paul at communications@rosecityastronomers.org, and you'd be on the communications team. So, all right. Um, if you read the Gazette article that I wrote for October, you know that I'm encouraging our members to begin to do more than just try to, basically complain about losing dark sky sites to light pollution and then driving farther and farther and farther away from the city to try to find dark skies. It's probably time for us to ante up somehow and do some work to protect and preserve some of our most favored dark sky sites. I'm introducing you here to IDA Oregon. This is a live link. If you want to check their website, there's a lot of information there. It's Oregon's local chapter of the International Dark Sky Association. Here are the 4 board members. 2 of them are from IDA, one's from Audubon Society, and one of them is from RCA. And I have invited Bill Kowalik here, one of the board members, to talk to us for a few minutes about what IDA Oregon is doing to protect our dark sky observing sites and how we in RCA can help. So Bill, you're on. Here, I will stop sharing screen and give it to you if you want the screen.
Thanks, Margaret. Thanks very much, Margaret, for this opportunity. So the Oregon chapter of IDA has a mission to preserve Oregon's dark skies and to reduce light pollution for various reasons, including health, safety, and well-being of all life, and of course for astronomy. So we just wanted to let you know about some exciting projects going on, and we want to encourage your active participation in this work. So IDA Oregon is only a year old, founded last year. We have 220 IDA members in the state, and we have about 400 plus people on the mailing list. So you may be aware of it, but light pollution is estimated to be increasing like 2% per year globally, which is, that's a lot. So in Oregon, our chapter is working to reduce light pollution by measuring it, raising awareness of it, and working to change this increasing trend. So we're working to establish a statewide sky glow, light pollution monitoring program. We're working to recognize existing dark sky places in Oregon, and we're also working on improving and enforcing outdoor lighting codes at city and county and state level. So if you it turns out we have available nighttime satellite data acquired by this VIIRS satellite. And if you look at data over the last 7 years, which is when it became available for an area such as the city of Bend and surrounding Deschutes County, you see that the increase of radiance from that area of the polygon has increased about 1.5% a year. So over the 7 years, an increase of 10%, which is a lot. So that's just an example area, less than the estimated 2% globally, but still, in the ballpark. So if you look at other cities in the Western US, such as Reno Sparks, which is maybe 3 or 4 times the population of Bend, it's increased over the same 7 years, 20% in radiance as measured by the nighttime satellites. Boise, Nampa metro area has gone up about 7%. And Tucson, where our speaker is from, there's quite an anomaly because it's dropped in radiance over the last 7 years. And that was primarily because in 2017, Tucson City introduced LED lights, which were dimmer than the previous lights. And they also introduced dimming at night, so the lights are generally darker. And these satellite pictures on which this data are based are taken at typically 2 a.m. Local time. So we can use these satellite pictures at night to track the light coming from cities, but they have significant limitations. In particular, those data are not sensitive to the blue part of the visible spectrum. They have coarse resolution and other issues here that we can talk about some other time. So we've adopted a ground-based measuring program using something called a sky quality meter, which we point at the zenith and take a measurement every 5 minutes for a long period of time, like years. And the device can be mounted in a weatherproof tube. And here's typical data from one such sky quality meter located in Sun River at the Oregon Observatory. And these data show the sky glow measurement at night and we've restricted the data here so that it's only showing points where the sun was 18 degrees or more below the horizon, and the moon was 10 degrees or more below the horizon. So these are dark nights, but some of the nights, of course, are cloudy, which is the source of all this scatter here, the blue points. Anyway, this red line here, this red patch, represents a pretty good estimate at, turns out, like 21.5 magnitudes per arc second squared of sky glow at this location. So you can imagine over time, these things change, and there's also difference among different locations. So currently we have, as shown on this map, let me back up a little. So this is Portland down to Eugene, and this is Bend here. So it's sort of the northwestern corner of Oregon. The colors on the map are computed sky glow from a convolution of the nighttime satellite images and an atmospheric model to estimate what is the sky glow. So red colors show a lot of sky glow around Portland, the main cities, and dark colors here are essentially pristine skies at night at the zenith location. So in Central Oregon, for the last year, we've had a pilot project running with sky quality meters at these locations of the white dots, 3 of them around Bend and other ones, places you're familiar with. This one was installed by the Sisters High School Astronomy Club. This one was installed by the Astronomy Club of Sisters. And there's a red diamond here, which is one coming from a private school in the city of Redmond, which is quite excited to participate. So we've marked on here also in diamonds places where we think it would be helpful. Oregon Star Party location, Camp Hancock, Stubbs Stewart State Park, and maybe Gabriel Park in the city. Places where it would be handy to have sky quality meters, and you folks could help, work out getting them there, installing them, and helping to download the data. So this map actually, the background map presents kind of a rosy picture of sky glow in Oregon because the satellite data on which it's based are not sensitive to blue light, plus it's 4 years old, and it's only at the zenith. If we look at a whole hemisphere of sky glow, which was created by another publication a couple of years ago, we see that things are not, Oregon Star Party location has hemispherical light, at least according to this model, in its periphery. And there's only a dark patch down here in this map area that's still, pristine sky without any sky glow on the horizon. Similarly, Camp Hancock is, not as dark as previously presented on the zenith image. So we're measuring sky glow in Central Oregon at present, and we're quite interested to expand it to the rest of the state, and of course, southeastern areas off this map too. So another part of our work is recognizing something called dark sky places as defined by the International Dark Sky Association, headquartered in Tucson. So that involves preservation of sites which are still currently dark. And that encourages responsible lighting policies in adjacent areas, helps educate the public about, hey, there's something valuable out here, a dark sky site. What is it? Let's go see. There's only 130 plus of these recognized worldwide so far. This program has been running for 19 years. So the status in Oregon here is that we only have one recognized dark sky place so far, and that is the community of Sun River just 2 months ago. There's several more applications in discussion right now. And so here are the areas that possible areas that you folks can help get on board here with the dark sky place business. Camp Hancock, Stubb Stewart, and even Gabriel Park in the middle of the city, which could be possibly a urban night sky place, which is another category that IDA has implemented to encourage trying to minimize light pollution in places that already have a fair amount of light pollution. And a couple other places here, and then maybe the last point here is that some of you folks may be from the Willamette Valley, or astronomers down there, or people at high school, astronomy clubs or environmental clubs. We need to get in touch with those people to encourage their participation. So I guess in summary, you can help here by helping with this dark sky monitoring and also dark sky place recognition in Oregon. And a key thing is to make sure your outdoor lights are dark sky compliant, namely they're shielded and et cetera. There's information available on making sure that's the case. And you can get up to speed on the issues. The main thing is, I think, talk to people park rangers, astronomy clubs, environmental clubs at high schools, universities, because all of those sky glow monitors that we have currently on the pilot project in Central Oregon were all done by word of mouth communication with people interested. And you're all technically oriented. You could help install and maintain these sky quality monitors, and with your contacts move forward on dark sky place recognition at your favorite viewing sites. So I encourage you also to join IDA and get in touch. We're interested to hear from you. So thanks very much.
Margaret, you're muted.
I want to remind everybody that the International Dark Sky Association is having its annual conference this year online, and that's in November, so it's coming up. Tickets are free, but they do ask you to register, and they have a number of workshops that are going to be really, really useful. Bill, thank you very much. That was just perfect. And
Welcome.
we really are interested in placing these sky quality monitors at places that we're in danger of losing. I'd hate to lose Pine Mountain Observatory, but as I said in my article, I was just shocked when I went from Bend up to Pine Mountain and saw how much the city has creeped up towards Pine Mountain Observatory. And
I might just comment, somebody earlier on during the social session talked about astronomers saving the world.
yeah.
So this is a way you can help with a little part of the world.
Yes. And oh, I can't remember. It must not be important. It got away from me. Thank you. So Mark, it's time to introduce Jim. I'm done.
All righty. So please welcome Jim Todd with this month's Sky Report.
Okay, everybody. Hope everybody is healthy and staying safe and been able to do some observing lately. So this is the Sky Report for the month of October. And so since the last virtual meeting on October 1st, we had the beautiful harvest moon. And so that was a very orangey moon. And in fact, we did a star party at the Ecliptic Brewery that night. And the moon came up orange and it stayed orange, even at 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees above the horizon. So we had truly the harvest moon, and it was a sold out event. And it was a lot of fun. It was good to see John Harris again and what have you. He's doing very well. And I'm also happy to announce that the planetarium had been reopened on October 6th. And so we have put in all the protocols for visitors to come and safely view the shows. We had a donor that gave us a various donation for a HVAC bipolar filter system, which is hospital quality, that killed 99% of the German viruses that are coming into the planetariums. And happy to say that we're running 6 shows today, and we've been nearly sold out every show. People are just happy to be out, and they're also coming in to watch something. And just like with star parties, it brings joy, and it takes them away. So something to be said too, astronomy does bring joy. And so we've blocked off the seats, we sanitized the seats, everybody's wearing masks. People are very cooperative, but more importantly, they're very happy that we're open. And so we're going to continue to go on with this, and it's all really worked out very well. March has been putting on a great show, really has. And just recently on October 13th, there was an opposition where the Earth is in between the Mars and the Sun. It's got its closest distance and its largest position at 37 million miles away. And folks, just as a reminder, you'll be another 15 years that you're going to see Mars this bright at a minus 2.5. And you'll see Mars again, but it won't be this bright for a very long time. So it's really putting on the show. And Wes had wonderful drawings on his background, and so it really looks beautiful. So it's getting larger, it's getting closer, but after this month, basically, the Mars is we're going to be pulling away from Mars and get dimmer and dimmer. And so if you look in the south, we have Jupiter and Saturn. They're putting on a show. Mars is way over in the east, and Uranus is just is also putting on a show because it's going to come up to opposition fairly soon. And so along with that, Neptune is also in view. So we have a whole parade of planets right now in the south. And just last weekend, I did a star party at Subtle Lake, and was able to view most of them because there was really good viewing, but the wind was howling. But we were able to get it in. Okay. And then we have just on October 13th, we had the Orion launch for the 7th test. And so they've launched this thing of all places, Texas. And so basically the testing that they've been going through, testing everything from rocket to separation to new kind of guidance landing mechanism, getting a little higher and getting a little better each time, and not had a single failure. So I don't want to jinx that, but it's actually been quite successful. And so it came down, it nailed the landing, And if you watch carefully, watch what happened when it touches the ground. And it's just making that contact. A little bit of a bounce, right? And then the capsule came down with the parachute and used explosive just before touching the ground. Very much like the Soyuz. Right? So another successful launch. And then there was another launch on the 14th, the Soyuz, the Expedition 64. And it only took, think about it, 3 hours to get to the space station. Think of it, that's shorter than most flights to get across the country. But the cool thing is that women astronaut on the left, Katie, on the day of the launch, it was her birthday. So what a birthday gift that is to have a launch on that day. So 3 going up and then 3 coming down for, I think, next week or so. They're coming back. And Cassidy went up when the pandemic started, and Cassidy coming back, and it's still there. But actually, the space station is one of the safest places in the world to be with the pandemic. Looking ahead, we had the full moons of October. On the 1st, we had it on the 31st, which means that 2 full moons. We have the last moon is going to be the Hunter's moon, and that will be on Halloween, and it's known as the blue moon. 2 full moons in 1 month. The second one becomes blue, and it all started with the Farmer's Almanac in 1937. We came out with the color print, and they decided, oh, let's make this one blue. And so once in a blue moon, it comes out every about 3 or 4 years, and it has nothing to do with the color of blue. And in fact, the 100th moon is known to be orange, so you're not going to see any blue. Okay? And then Halloween coming up. And did you know that, of course, the Earth goes around the sun for the seasonal path? We just got from autumnal equinox going to the winter solstice. But somebody had a fun idea to make it crossover day, at halfway point between the equinoxes and the solstice. And Halloween is one of those. And people say, hey, let's make this a holiday. So Halloween is one of them, Groundhog Day, Mother's Day, and Lammas Day. So the Easter crossed over there, not exactly halfway, but it's a fun holiday and make the celebration of it. Okay? And the planets are, as I mentioned, have been putting on a show. And Mars and Jupiter, it's so easy to find. All you have to do is look in the south and east, they're right there. Okay? And so what's happening here, you can see in this orbital position of the solar system, here's Earth, there's Mars. We just passed opposition, so Mars is starting to pull ahead counterclockwise. And there's Jupiter, there's Saturn, that's over there in the south, Neptune and Uranus. And if you look at the position of the Earth with Uranus, that means that Uranus is coming up to an opposition. And that also is on Halloween. It's a very busy event. And Uranus is going to be about +5, but I recommend good map and a good telescope to be able to see it. And without mentioning, Mars is my choice for the object of the month because it's bright, it's easy. You just look towards the east, it's in the constellation of Pisces. And so it's something that you really should take advantage of on the next clear night. So take a look at Mars. This picture was taken by my friend Johnny Horn from his home observatory. And he got great details. He got the polar ice cap in the south. He got the dark bands and what have you. And Mars is big and bright, clear, fun to look at. And then we got Perseverance is on its way now to Mars and land Mars sometime in mid-February. So we're going to have another visitor very soon. And the sun was actually kind of been active, actually. We're transitioning from 24 to 25, being a variable star. We have not many 0 days. And in fact, right now we have a sunspot right down in the southern hemisphere of the sun. It's a very large sunspot. And so that's been producing some very large flares. And so it's not unusual. We start to see just a few more sunspots. And then the International Space Station will be up here around October 22nd. And then it'll be up in the either in the morning or evening sky for time. And that's also a fun thing to do for Halloween, is to go out and tell people that there's an International Space Station flyover. And then you can see the crew that we just talked about that's on board. And then, if that's not enough, the Crew 1 for the SpaceX was scheduled for a launch on Halloween, but it's been pushed to mid-November. There've been some anomalies lately with the SpaceX launches, and they want to double check on those anomalies before they send these 4. And once they get up on the space station, they'll be up there, I believe, until May or June as part of the crew exchange. Okay? And so if you remember the last time there was a demo with 2 astronauts, and it was fun to watch, actually. And it takes them about 19 hours from launch to the docking of the International Space Station. And last time was 2, now it'll be 4. Okay? So it'll be fun to watch again. And then had a recommendation for astrophotography for the month of October and November. We've got the Leonid meteor shower, the Taurid meteor shower, Uranus at opposition, the full moon. Since we just came out with the calendar for 2021, now you can get these pictures for 2022. It seems a little far away now, but keep getting those photographs in, and you never know, might end up in the calendar. So that's a sky report.